Did you want to do a regular opener, or did you want to do a roll-in open?
Let's do a roll-in open.
Okay.
Let's start with that.
Okay. I got a pretty good one because this morning I woke up and I had to take a shit, and it burned my asshole so bad, like.
So it did happen.
Yeah,
you were expecting that.
I don't know if it's the jalapeno. By the way, did this work better when I did sideways?
It did. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if it was the jalapenos from last night, just because it was from last night. So I have a feeling like they didn't run through my body that quickly. But man, was it like it felt like I had a tongue in my asshole and it was burning the whole time. Like it hurt to wipe.
Damn.
I went to bed and I was like, man, I need yogurt for my asshole.
I mean, I still haven't taken a dump, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I also been eating a lot of green curry that I made at home with a lot of chilies, so I feel like it might be the buildup of that, eating that for like 2 nights.
That might be
coming out.
Or maybe it's both.
Maybe it's both. Like, it's just back up. So I'm enjoying myself, the sarcasm, and I'm going to enjoy the next poop I have, too, which is probably also going to be super spicy.
Awesome. Well, everyone, welcome to the Overtly Disagreeable podcast. We're your hosts. My name is Shane. Well, I fucked that up twice.
Yeah.
I fucked that up twice. I'm going to start over, but I'm keeping that in.
Okay,
I'm keeping my shame in the podcast.
All right.
Welcome to the Overtly Disagreeable podcast, where two assholes talk about nothing. My name is Ken, and this is Shane.
Hello, everyone.
Hey. I still fucked that one up, too. I forgot to say we're your hosts, but...
Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
That's what I'm saying. You got to practice that shit. Go in the mirror and practice it.
Whatever. It's fine. It's just an intro.
Sure.
All right.
Lack of professionalism is not going to garner more audience to our podcast.
This podcast is in itself lacks professionalism.
Yeah. Meanwhile, look at all this fucking equipment.
It's bare bones equipment. It's
bare bones equipment.
Minimum.
It's fucking. Most people will probably be recording this shit on the mics on their headphones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we did it on both of our cell phones, I think we can maybe get away with it.
And then splice it together, yeah.
Yeah. Because, I feel like the 2 audio files is pretty necessary.
Yeah, no, I feel like that is too, just to isolate them and boost me up if I need it, because I talk fucking quietly all the time.
Yeah, and then we also have, like, different things we do that, let's just say, affect the podcast, like different sounds we make. So if I make a sound while you're talking, that's damn near impossible to edit out on one file.
Yeah, it's layered, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the thing of trying to like pull a song apart when you're like, I just want the beat, or I just want the oh shit. Well, there you go.
Lack of professionalism. So we both got one of those.
Yeah. So.
Your asshole.
Yeah. Like I was saying, I'm sure it's gonna be in the podcast anyways because I want it to be, but I think I'm gonna need some yogurt for my asshole.
No, there
if this shit keeps coming out this way.
Did you hear about the dude who shot up an ICE? I don't know too many details about
ICE detention facility?
Yeah, something
like that. No, I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, some dude went in there, guns blazing. I don't know if he killed anyone because I don't know the details of it. But he went in there to like shut down that ICE detention center, and then he died because you're going into a building full of a bunch of armed men.
Yeah, I know, in a security setting.
Yeah,
with being armed.
I'll be surprised if he killed anyone, to be honest, because like everyone there has a fucking gun.
I guess he's dead, but I mean, did he state his purpose at all? Like, other than just like, I want to free the immigrants?
That's pretty much it. Like, this is a fucking, what did AOC call it? Oh man,
concentration camps.
Yeah. We don't normally record in the morning, so my mind is like super fucking hazy.
Just let the fucking word salad vomit out of your mouth.
Okay. Yeah, concentration camp, and I gotta free the kids, and they're gonna kill all of them. So some dumb shit like that. Being
weepy while staring at an empty parking lot.
Yeah. Just like that's how you're supposed to do it. Just like what AOC did.
Did you hear that she called like Nancy Pelosi racist because Nancy Pelosi was telling her to sit down and calm down?
Yep.
And like stop making the Democrats all fractured and like argumentative against each other, and she's like, you're just saying that because you don't want to give people of color a fucking real position. It's like, wow, infighting.
I think that she also did something along the lines, and I believe it was with Nancy Pelosi as well, where she's just saying, Nancy Pelosi is just outing people or Democrats of color or something like that.
And, like ousting them, like putting them aside.
And then somebody's just like, Nancy, all she did was talk to 4 out of the 50-something Democrats of color, and it had nothing to do with that. Yeah. But just fucking, I was watching Tim Pool's video on the shooting thing that just happened,
Okay, yeah.
and he said something that kind of pissed me off, where he's just like, "Oh, this is due to the rhetoric of AOC and other people and Sean King."
Well, I mean, you can say that, but it's not necessarily true. But
Fucking,
I'm sure there's some part of it that is.
it's annoying that people say shit like that though, because it's like it's blaming the violence on somebody who just said some words.
No, I agree. I agree. There is that kind of like double talk where it's like one side is being accused for saying things that will incite people, and then other people are saying things that do incite people.
Yes.
And it's coming from both sides, and they're constantly playing the word game of like, no, you said something to incite somebody, and then the other side's like, no, you said something to incite
that's
somebody.
exactly
but
it.
technically,
Yes.
they're both right, and they're both saying stuff to incite people.
Yes, but it's the person who does the killing that's in the wrong.
Asshole. Yeah, no,
yes,
totally.
it's not the people, unless you do a direct call for inciting, like unless you say you need to go in there and fucking kill people in that base. I would say you're not doing anything wrong.
It's very like, I guess, case by case specific, because I would also disagree with like Carlos Maza like cheering on people getting milkshaked and shit like that. Like, as well as that's not very violent.
Mm-hmm.
It can be violent if someone were to like put something in the milkshake, but that's a hypothetical.
Yeah,
it's not really talking about a realistic scenario. When it happens, then it'll be real. But right now, it's just it's no different than like back in the day when they said in elementary school, don't throw snowballs at cars because people would pack fucking rocks into them and shit like that and be assholes. It's like, yeah, that could happen.
It could.
It might happen, but has it happened? Did it happen? You know what I mean? Like, these are different.
Well, the thing with the milkshakes is, if you're hit by one, then you don't want to, like, so if something was in it, that's something that you don't want to.
Yeah, no, obviously, and you don't know that's gonna happen.
Yeah, you don't know what's in it.
Yeah,
like, you're hit, you don't know what could be in. That
I mean,
shit.
even just getting hit with a milkshake is kind of like an asshole move, but
well, it's assault.
Yeah, it is still assault, but it's still like less violent than throwing acid on someone. But I'm not giving a free pass. I'm just saying I don't like that rhetoric of like saying, yes, you have my blessing to go milkshake people, milkshake all those Nazis that you deem are Nazis, because you're the arbiter of everything.
There was somebody I was talking to. This was just online, and he was saying something. I was saying how they attacked Andy No, and he's just like, oh well, the milkshakes weren't the milkshakes had sugar, which makes it so the cement can't settle anyways. Oh. This was back when we were still unsure if it had cement.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? They still threw a milkshake at him. That's still assault. Like, the fact that the cement can't settle is almost completely irrelevant. Like, they still attacked him.
Well, it's not completely irrelevant, but yeah, no, it's still like, it's a weird, like, trying to give yourself a free pass, being like, I'll put sugar in it so it wouldn't settle. It's like, who cares? It's the intent of the fact that you put cement in there.
Yeah, and then as we found out, first of all, sugar won't make it settle, but while it's wet, it's still corrosive to human skin.
Oh, okay.
And when it's dry, it's just corrosive in a different way.
Okay.
So the sugar won't make it settle, so it won't be corrosive in the second way.
Yeah.
But it's still corrosive in the first way.
Yeah.
And second, we found out I think it's confirmed there was no actual cement in there.
Okay. So there you go again. Yeah. It's still hypotheticals, but still, like, even that, it's like, one step leads to another for me. It's not hard for someone to be like, well, if we're punching Nazis and we're throwing milkshake at Nazis, why don't I just put a rock in a milkshake and throw it at a Nazi?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then it's just like, well, we put other things in milkshakes and stuff like that. And it's like, why don't we just get rid of the fucking milkshakes and just throw things at people?
It's a slippery slope, but I hate arguing from a slippery slope standpoint. It's the same thing like when people talk about drugs, like, oh, first it starts out with weed, and then you go to harder things. I mean, technically, that is the order of operations that usually takes place, but, like, you don't punish weed for that. You still punish, I don't even think you should punish the harder things, but, like, just for this case, just for this conversation, you punish the harder things, you know?
Oh, you mean you make them illegal.
You make them illegal or whatever. And even I think that's a problem, but, like, is it just for this conversation? Just to make the analogy work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's just, like, I don't like taking care of the precursors. I prefer to just deal with the problems.
Did you want to make another point about the Tim Pool video you're watching, or are you just that one thing about you being pissed off about him saying it's rhetoric that
caused it? Yeah, that's pretty much just all I wanted to say. That really fucking annoyed me because, like, especially coming from him, like he should know better.
Yeah, I guess so, because he does defend a lot of the speech of the right
Mm-hmm.
in whatever capacity it is, whenever it's criticized for being alt-right or inciting violence.
Mm-hmm.
He's always one to be like, words don't do that shit.
Yeah, it's the people.
Yeah.
You know, guns. Sorry, people don't. How does it work? Yeah, guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Yeah. I guess if we want to continue the thought experiment of this, I mean, there is a certain argument that I'm sure he's made in the past where because the left has such a majority hold on like news media and like they're the good guys, quote unquote, you know what I mean? Like the Democrats are the good guys by most people's standard. Like even I had that kind of mentality in high school where it's like Republicans are all evil. Now I have a much more nuanced view of that where it's like, no, they just want low taxes and for you to stay the fuck out of their house, which is ironic that they want to like pass abortion bills and stuff like that and tell other people what to do.
The whole abortion thing seems very weird to me that the Republicans don't want abortions because it's almost counter.
Well,
it's counter to almost everything they are.
It's a core argument of like they don't want to kill people, right? And then they're saying that fetuses or unborn children at any stage of development are people to some point, but at the same time, religion shouldn't have an effect on government.
Yeah,
which is the main reason people are using is that God's plan or something like that, or some bullshit like that. Like no one is taking a specifically humanitarian approach. It's this is a human being, and it's usually because I believe in God or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing with the rape thing where it's like if you're raped and you have a child because of it, it's like it was God's plan bullshit argument. You know what I mean? It's like I thought religion wasn't supposed to be part of your guys' like government and like governing and making laws and shit like that. And somehow everyone slipped this under the rug as like an argument. And I'm not even pro-abortion or anything like that. Sorry,
you're not pro-life.
I'm not
you're
pro-life.
Not pro-life.
Yeah, I'm pro-choice.
Yeah.
For the most part, like almost 100%. I understand the argument that they're saying, but I mean, we live in a world where science can already do so much. If I can fix my leg because I broke it, I don't see why you can't not have a baby because you're not ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fuck you. You're not allowed to fix your leg. That's not part of God's plan.
I'm not allowed to have vaccines anymore. It's not God's plan. I'm supposed to get the herpes and die.
But how do these fucking guys know what God's plan is anyways, okay?
Because it's happening. It's in reality. You know what I mean? We're not talking about a hypothetical baby. We're talking about you're actually pregnant.
Yeah, but the abortion could also be part of God's plan.
Yeah. Human intervention?
Yeah.
No.
That could be part of God's plan. God is playing. Okay, it's God. If God exists, then he plays
mysterious ways.
He plays like 3 million D chess with us. Okay, we don't know what's going on.
He's just got chessboards like crisscrossing each other with holographic pieces, all moving at once.
Yeah, that's right.
He cloned himself so he could play 3,000 D chess with himself.
It's the only person that could compete with him, or maybe Jesus might have a chance.
Jeez.
Yeah, He might be good enough.
What do you think? Do you think Jesus is a Republican or do you think Jesus is a Democrat?
Hard to say.
Because one's got to be on one side, one's got to be on the other side, right?
I feel like honestly, Jesus would probably be okay. In the modern day, Jesus would probably be a Republican.
You think so?
Like, and I mean by modern, I mean within the last like 2 or 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Okay, before let's say before Trump got elected, I think he'd be a Democrat.
Oh yeah.
But because of the way like the left acts in terms of like silencing people and justifying violence and stuff like that, I think he'd turn Republican.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, there's no way Jesus would justify violence. He would just like, unless it was on him, and then he'd be like, they not know what they do or something like that. But he wouldn't like say, oh, them attacking another person is okay,
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know.
I just want to see Jesus fucking giving campaign donations to Donald Trump wearing a MAGA hat.
That would be hilarious. Well, whatever. Typically, the left hates Christians anyways. This isn't too much further of a die for them to hate Jesus as well.
That's funny that you mentioned that because there's some things that are happening on like Twitter and stuff like that I wanted to bring up.
Go ahead.
I can't remember specifically about the religion thing that I wanted to bring up, but I wanted to bring up that they were having court rulings because Donald Trump a while ago blocked people on Twitter, and people were arguing that that's against their First Amendment right because it's government censorship.
Yeah, okay,
right?
I remember
now,
that.
I want to start this off by saying this is an easy fix for Twitter and for the government. Just have separate Twitters for personal use and for your government position. So
that's a great idea.
The
Yeah.
Twitter for the president is always the Twitter for the current president, not for the president. Like, it's not Donald Trump's Twitter that he just changed the name for, right?
Yeah.
There's Donald Trump's Twitter where he can tweet his own things.
Yes.
And then there's the Twitter of the president, which there I would argue that you can't ban people, but Donald Trump can on his personal one.
Yeah, no, that's good.
I feel like that's a solution. But there was a court ruling saying that Donald Trump can't do that. Like, he can't.
Yeah, I remember
ban
that.
people.
Yeah. The court ruled against Donald Trump.
And they were saying that sets a precedent. Like, a lot of lawyers were saying this is a bad precedent set.
Yes.
Because now no politician can ever have a private Twitter. Because once they're in office, they're constantly a person working for, like, the people, right? Always part of the government, so they can never censor anybody. So AOC can't block people. Any politician can't block anybody. Yeah. Which then my solution again is it's a Twitter for the position and a Twitter for your personal use.
So now is that like did AOC or somebody like is that coming to fruition now?
No, I think
is that happening?
I think it's just a court has ruled on it, and now it's going to a higher tier court.
I see.
To see if it passes for sure.
And then now then they vet like the politicians' accounts and just being like, oh hey, you blocked fucking
I suppose
little Timmy over there.
If it goes through, then possibly that could be a thing that they have to retcon all their blocks and they have to unblock everybody who's an American citizen, I guess, which will be hard to fucking prove who's an American citizen or not. I guess Twitter is gonna have to give over a bunch of information, but I was just wanted to, like, because it hasn't actually passed through, just the idea that, like, lawyers are saying this is a bad precedent to set.
Yeah, I remember them saying that at the time.
Yeah.
That like this is a bad precedent to set because you're kind of like opening the floodgates for
people. Well, I mean, it's not that I want people to be banned or not be banned or anything like that. It's just like the fact that, like, it's the weird thing of, like, as soon as you become a public figure, you in the government, I should say, because you could be also a famous, like, actor or something. But if you're in a government, what is the word I'm looking for? God, yeah, this early morning's fucking with my brain too with words. If you work for the government, you're never allowed to block anybody for the rest of your life on Twitter because you're always part of the government. Seems like a bit of a stretch. It's like, if I no longer am the mayor of a certain city and I'm just going back to private life, then I should be able to block people again. You know, what I mean?
I agree
like, it
with
shouldn't be indefinite. Like, it seems a bit of a stretch.
Hopefully, it doesn't affect every government employee, just the ones that are technically. I know they're all like this, but just the ones that are actually like. That work for the citizens, you know, like a mayor or something.
Oh yeah, not the janitor who cleans the White House.
Pretty much, yeah. Like somebody whose job like is directly can be benefit or hurt on how the citizens in the area feel about them. Sort of thing. Because I know technically every government employee works for citizens, but
technically, it's one capacity or another. But it's a bit of a stretch. I think that they're mostly talking about policymakers.
Okay.
Like direct, I think is the more direct thing. So but you could be as, like, you could take the thing to the extreme and be like, yeah, the guy cleaning the toilets has a Twitter and he's not allowed to say anything. Sorry, he's not allowed to block anybody when he says stuff about the government. It's really like that.
Yeah. And I mean, what else? I can kind of see this extending to police as well, or at least like chief of whatever police unit there is. I can kind of see it extending to them as well.
It could probably just like if it becomes set in stone, then it's going to apply to anybody who works directly for the government, military, police, policymakers. I'm trying to think who else would be.
That's probably the bulk of it there.
Yeah, like the people that you don't want to be suppressed by, basically.
Yeah. And then at some point, somebody's going to... It's a bit of a separation, but I'd imagine somebody's going to use that same argument just to be like, oh, Mark Zuckerberg shouldn't be able to block people either.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs to reach him since his platform influences politics.
I think that's the idea is that, well, sort of, I think is the idea that, like, because Twitter is a public square, like, it's using all the, like, adding up all the things to the reasons why Donald Trump can't block people.
Yeah.
Right? So by that sentiment, like, that would also make Twitter a place where, like, everybody's allowed to have an opinion. You're not allowed to block anybody because it's an open forum, like an open square, as they say, where you're not allowed to censor anybody. So I feel like it's just one step to be like, policymakers can't block people. Now nobody can block anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which there is a lot of targeted harassment. So it seems like counterproductive. And I'm not even sure if Twitter would actually bend the knee on that because they're so hard on the, like, we don't want people to feel harassed or attacked on our platform and shit like that. We just want it to be a place for open discussion. But when you start being like, you can't block people and you can't block people and you can't block people, then eventually it's going to lead to the people that are assholes not being blocked.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Twitter is going to probably end up being more of a like regulated by the government sort of thing. I think it's going to be under government control fairly soon.
I don't know. I just like everyone expects that to happen and are kind of championing for it.
I'm not championing for it. I feel
like
that's a bad
you just feel
thing.
like it's going to happen based on what the trajectory is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always feel like maybe I'm just always living in the now. Like I do think forward. I'd already say try to, but like I just have this feeling like it's never going to be within the government's reach to actually police Facebook and Twitter. And if they do, that's like the moment that like when your family got on, like not your family, but like hypothetical your family, quote unquote, got onto Facebook. That's when Facebook died for most people, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's like now everyone makes a joke that it's just for old people, right?
Yeah, that is.
I feel like that's what's going to happen if the government steps in to take over Twitter and stuff like that.
That's possible.
There's just going to be a new Twitter.
With Twitter, maybe I can see that. Facebook, a lot of people have left Facebook, quote unquote, but they haven't totally left it, and it's because it's just got so much of their history on it.
Yeah,
like Facebook has a lot more of a personal investment for a lot of
for
people.
A lot of people from all the time that they put into it already.
All the time, all the pictures they've uploaded, comments they've made.
Because it's been around for so much longer than a lot of other social medias. Like I think the only other one that really would have stuff like that is MySpace, but even then, MySpace like janky as fuck and like was mostly for music by the end of it.
I hated MySpace like when it came out. I
yeah.
saw it and I was just like, I didn't mind what I would refer to now as like the social aspect of it. I just hated how like every page I went to like forced me to fucking listen to music and and like was hard on the eyes stuff.
I'm just gonna say this, Ken. It is called MySpace.
Yeah, I get it.
So, if I was listening to shitty music in my apartment, you're like, that's garbage. And I'm still listening to music. Yeah, exactly. It's MySpace and motherfucker.
So, how was your week, man?
Pretty good. All right. Same old. Fucking working. Been playing more Rainbow Six Siege, which I'm pretty happy about. Getting my crew to be a little more tuned together.
Okay.
Still kind of suck here and there, but I mean that it's just a team game. You can't account for every variable and stuff like that.
You should be able to.
But I am trying to get them like to shoot cameras because that's a big thing where like we keep getting jumped by people who are just good at using the cameras. So like we'll be on the attack and they just won't take out the outside cameras and they'll be like rappelling up a fucking wall and then I'll like look behind them and be like, there's a camera behind you guys. They can see what you're doing, right? There was one map, I think it's Villa. It's the Italian map. This means nothing to you, obviously. But anyways, there was this one map where 3 times in a row when the other team was on defense, the same move this guy pulled. It was the same dude. He pulled the same move from the same doorway where there's a camera outside the doorway, but there's like a window on the second floor and a doorway on the first floor.
Okay.
And he would pop like the barricade for the outside. Like he'd be on the edge of the outside, pop the barricade of the window, use the camera to see where we were, and then like pop 2 or 3 of us before we even got into the building.
Jesus
and he
Christ.
pulled the same move 3 times in a fucking row.
It worked all 3 times?
And it worked every single fucking time.
Jesus Christ.
I even tried to like tell people, I'm like, guys, take out the camera, then like wait a second, and then make your approach. Doesn't matter. He's still there waiting. And like nobody ever waited either, so that's part of the problem. But even then, like the first thing I would do, I would spawn that area because I was going to be like, we should just spawn somewhere else. But my team didn't, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just spawn with you guys. Better to be together. I come around the corner, shoot the camera, start walking away, kill. Guy fucking pops 2 guys from that same window. I'm like, guys, it's the same move he did 3 times in a row. Just spawn somewhere else, go somewhere else. But
at that point, it's too late because that'd be the 3rd attacking round. I suppose.
In normal mode or casual, whatever the fuck it's called, there's only 5 rounds altogether max.
Yeah.
So again, it's that was they won 3 rounds. It's over.
Fucking hell.
So that wasn't great, but that was only one specific instance. But it's just nice to be playing Rainbow again. Been playing Smite. I didn't end up quitting when Oleron came out.
Okay,
like I said I was going to.
He's okay.
He's okay. He's definitely underpowered compared to what I thought he was going to be, similar to like how I thought Horus was going to be busted.
Mm-hmm.
I think still Horus is bullshit. The fact that he's got like, he's in denial about having like 4 extra abilities.
Yeah.
But
he's way better than the fucking other one that got released. Set. Yeah.
I like Set's kit. I think it's a really interesting kit.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely underwhelming for some reason.
Yeah, it is
It's so weird.
Underwhelming.
Like it's so weird. I think it's a really interesting kit. Like I really like his kit, but for some reason, very few people can make it work.
Yeah,
it's way easier to get Horus to work.
Yeah.
And even then, I think his ult is like, you can just throw that out of the fucking window. Like, his ult's good for one thing, giving a shield to people. And that's not even the primary function of it.
I guess that's kind of true, actually.
It's got 3 parts. It's a teleport,
yeah,
like a group teleport. It gives you a shield when you land, and everybody in that area. And it's a damage knockback.
Yeah, but
pushback, whatever.
The huge downside, unless I'm getting it mixed up with Horus, but I believe you stand still. Like you're completely.
Horus has to stand still. Yeah, but that's whatever. That's just a parameter. That's no different than like Fafnir coming out of his dragon form.
Yeah, it's coming out though. You can.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like it's a balancing thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would be fucking insane to control 2 Horuses at once.
Yeah.
One that's on the ground that your team has to stay in the area to be teleported, and for you to be moving around the air. So I understand it. It's on you, the Horus player, to be good enough to not get fucked while using the ult. But again, it's like that ult is so hard to set up that I don't even like. I don't watch a lot of pro leagues, but I want to see the pro leagues
like
play Horus and show me how to make it work, because it's like I never see anyone use it like for an actual 5-man gank, like the way that people were testing it. People were testing shit where it's like, I'm gonna move a Hades while he's ulting into an area, and you can do that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I remember saying, like, someone just saying that you could do that. Or if, like, for example, if you were, like, mid-dash into a Horus teleport, you'd come out of the Horus teleport still dashing.
Really?
Yeah. Because it doesn't interrupt. It just picks you up and teleports you, but continues the motion, right?
Yeah.
Or, like, for example, Horus's heal can, like, go through walls, but can also chase the ally if they move away. So if you're the ally and he targets you, and then you dash away, he'll follow you as you, like, from where he targeted you to where you are now.
Interesting.
Where you dash. So there's a lot of weird applications with him.
Okay, all right.
But, yeah, with Oleron, really it's just his ult.
The slowdown?
The slow, fucking huge area slowdown. I still think the area is way too big, considering that, like, everything's tuned for conquest. And the thing is basically the width of a fucking lane.
It is. It's the width of a lane, yeah.
But like a little bit less. But still, that's like not saying much. And like every god that they release is just like, how can we take a game mechanic that we have in the game that leaves everybody on an equal playing field and just remove that completely? So it's like Jormungandr, now you can just go into towers and attack people. No big deal. Freebie. Oleron, same thing. Throw it into the tower. Tower can't shoot as fast.
Oh, does it affect the towers?
It affects the towers too.
Oh my god!
It affects projectiles too. So if you're outside and you shoot something into it, it goes slower.
Yeah, that part.
Like that.
Not you. No.
Not
your projectiles. Their projectiles.
Enemy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like if you're on the defense for against that, it's like everything you do is.
Yeah, I know
that's one game mechanic. Time. That's the same for everybody.
Yeah, and it's a little annoying because. If you use an ability, since the ability comes out slower, you have to wait for the animation to finish.
Yeah.
So
like, imagine a Hades 3 that's already like boom, and now it's boom.
Yeah.
You're
pretty much just standing there.
Yeah.
You're gonna
better
fucking
to just ult in it. That's what I do when I'm Hades and all around. I just I'm
ult.
CC immune. Fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck.
But I'm trying to think, what else have I done? Not much. Yeah, it's mostly just been games, chilling. I tried to make, I guess this isn't gaming related or anything, but I was watching this show on Netflix. It's Jon Favreau.
Okay.
He did that movie where he's a chef. Anyways, it's a movie that came out this year or last year where he's an actor in it and he's playing a chef.
Okay.
And it's a pretty good movie. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's good. Anyways, he made a TV show kind of following that where he goes and it's just regular Jon Favreau not acting, and he's like in a fake food truck type deal.
Okay.
And he travels around to different parts of America meeting like famous, either like he met like Robert Rodriguez, who has like a firewood oven pizza in his house.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's like He can make his own pizzas in a firewood oven.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, it's like the fucking man. He just makes a whole bunch of shit. Anyways, but he meets a whole bunch of different other people too. Like there's a lady who makes like pies and judges like pie competitions and stuff like that.
Okay.
Anyways, I made Thai green curry from like an authentic recipe from that show. They didn't give you any measurements or anything. I just kind of winged it.
Okay.
But it was really nice. It was like you just put a bunch of green shit in a blender, like basil, cilantro, lime leaves. Remember how you saw my lime in my fridge and it had no skin?
Yeah.
You cut all the lime skin off.
Okay.
I'm supposed to use a different lime, but I don't want to buy that extra lime.
Okay.
And you put it all in a blender and you just blend it the fuck out.
Okay.
You add some other things too. You can watch the thing if you want to. It's one of the episodes. I already told you it's the chef show on Netflix. But anyways, I did it. They don't give you any measurements. They just tell you what's in it.
Yeah.
So I just winged it.
And
I made a fuck ton of it. And I've just been sitting on it. I just keep having it.
Is it good?
It's pretty good, yeah. It's really tasty.
So what do you blend it all together and
then, so you make the curry paste. No. It's wet when you make it.
Okay.
Because all the things you're putting in are wet. It's like,
and I assume you have to put in some water as well.
Yeah, just a little bit to smooth it out.
Yeah.
It's like red onion, garlic, a little bit of green pepper for color.
Okay.
Basil, cilantro. What's another green leaf thing? Oh, lime leaves.
Okay.
The lime skin. What else was there?
Spinach?
No.
Kale?
No. I think that was it for like the leaf stuff. You're supposed to put in Thai eggplant, which are also green. They're like green little balls.
Okay.
Instead of the normal eggplant, which is like purple.
Yeah.
I couldn't find any Thai eggplant, so I just skipped that. There's something else. I swear that. Oh man. Oh no, it's on my phone. But anyways, you put that shit all in a blender.
Okay.
You blend it the fuck out.
And
then you have your like curry paste. Oh. Jalapenos and Thai green chilies.
Right. So, yeah, that's the part that killed your ass.
Yeah, the thing that killed my butthole.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if I forget, the title of this podcast will be "My Butthole Needs Yogurt."
Okay, fine.
But anyways, you blend that shit up, and that's basically your entire. Lemongrass, basil leaves. If I didn't say that, cilantro, and then the rest is like spices like salt, pepper, fish sauce, and coconut milk, bamboo shoots. But anyways, that's just the curry paste. It's not really a paste. It's like a blending of fresh ingredients.
But you don't actually put your green curry paste in with all of this? Or?
Yeah, no. Like normally you would go and buy green curry paste.
Oh, that's
pre-made. I'm making the green curry paste.
I see. Okay.
But it's not a paste.
Yeah,
that's my only thing. It's like pasty, but it's not like an actual paste.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you take that. And you don't need much of it. Like let's say I use a can of coconut milk. You only need like 3 or 4 tablespoons of this shit.
Okay.
To kind of compensate for the thing, depending on how spicy you want it. And yeah, it's like they show you how to make it in the episode where it's like you heat up the coconut milk, you get it reduced a little bit, you throw some of the curry in there, you cook it up a little bit, then you add in the meat, which I use chicken, and then you put it on the vegetables and it's like
good?
Homemade curry. It's really good, yeah. I still have some extra. I was gonna like if I wasn't so broke right now and like living off this Thai curry that I made. I made so much that like I was gonna start bringing it to work and like giving it to people because you don't need much, right? It's like if you're one person, you're only gonna probably use a can of coconut milk.
Yeah.
Right. I'm crazy. I'm making food for like 2-3 days or 2-3 nights, I should say, of dinner. So I made like a huge batch of it, multiple batches of it.
Well, I prefer to cook like that. To make it.
But so I was using like 2 cans of coconut milk. But if I was gonna give it to like you, let's say, I'd give you like 4 tablespoons of this shit and put it in like a fucking Ziploc bag.
Oh,
and you just take it home, put that into a can of coconut milk, and that's dinner for you for the night, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's about it. That's probably the most exciting thing is I'm trying to get back into like cooking for myself because I've been a lazy sop for a long time. Been pretty depressed for a while. Keep going in and out. Like every time I feel like I'm cresting and feeling good, I just immediately go back down for one reason or another, whether it be personal life or work. So I've been trying to do stuff. It's not much, I tried to do my dishes, but then Friday, Saturdays when you come over are always a shit show for stuff. So I end up like just completely losing all my progress on my kitchen, which is whatever. You have to use dishes to eat.
Yeah,
so
I know.
It. But then I'm trying to do small things here and there to like slowly build up. I'm trying to cook every night.
It's the Jordan Peterson thing, man.
Yeah, fuck Jordan Peterson. No, he's got it. He's got the right idea in basic form. But I'm trying to do small things for myself to make myself feel better. But it is a lot of me just working and playing video games still.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
With a little bit of spice of trying to be a responsible adult and like cleaning my apartment more consistently.
Usually I'm, with the exception of this week, usually I'm pretty good about doing my dishes like as soon as I get home.
Oh yeah.
Like I get home and like I just put on something on the TV and then I just start cleaning my dishes.
Yeah.
I'm bad at like cleaning the kitchen in general. Like there's gonna be bits of the food or whatever that I cut last time still on the counter.
Oh
or
really?
whatever.
Okay, I'm not that bad.
Yeah,
But
I'm bad about that, but I clean my dishes like pretty much every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to get into that habit too. I think that's a pretty good like method for me, or maybe for you too. Is like as soon as you come home, put something on, do some dishes. It's 20, 30 minutes max.
Yeah.
And then you just fuck off and do something. So that's kind of been like the way I've been going about it. It's like I'll come home from work. I won't even sit down. Like I'll play with the cat outside in the hallway.
Yeah.
And then I'll come inside, do some dishes, chill out. And then I think one day I was like, I took a shower, then I chilled out, then I made food, then I sat down, chilled out, and then I played some video games. And I felt like, oh, I was pretty productive today. I'm feeling all right. So I'm working on it. It's slow. I'm sure next week I'll be like, I'm sad. I didn't do anything. I just played video games and felt sad for myself.
Well, this week I pretty much this week I started out really bad with my sleep schedule. Where my first day of work is Tuesday. I have Sundays and Mondays off.
Yeah.
So on Monday I just could not sleep until like 5 a.m. Fucked my entire week up up until Friday night. On that Friday, I finally managed to just not go to sleep, like, as soon as I get home.
Just, like, burnt yourself out?
Yeah. And then, like, I slept at a reasonable time on Friday night.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm just like, well, we didn't end up doing it, but in my mind, I'm just like, okay, fuck, I have to go to work, and then after work, I have to record the podcast.
Yeah, but that never happens.
Yeah.
Because by the time you come over on Saturday, it's usually, like, 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Or later. And then it's like, it's fucking dinner time, because I've been waiting for you guys.
If I get home earlier, then it won't be a problem. Or not home. Here. Fuck, man. It was fucking crazy amount of work today.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, I'll deal with it.
Yesterday.
Yeah, Saturday.
But, I mean, whatever. We're still recording.
Yeah. I'm doing our weekly jobs.
Yeah.
Gerbs.
Our weekly gerbs.
You been doing anything else? I know that you said you haven't been playing much games, but...
I did...
Mobile doesn't count. Mobile games don't count.
Mobile games? But those are the real man
casual,
games.
Filthy casual.
Fine. I did manage to make my own bread at home. I never did that before.
Nice.
I found like a recipe for keto bread, except I did it slightly differently.
Keto bread.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Explain your whole thing.
You get eggs. They recommend coconut flour, but instead of coconut flour, I decided to use xanthan gum. You know what that is?
Not really, but yeah, I know of it.
It's basically
a thickening agent, right?
Yeah, it's a flour substitute.
Okay.
But it's like more potent, so you use less of it than what you would use for flour. Start with the last recipe, just like baking soda, which is 0 carbs anyway.
You don't use any yeast or anything.
No. So you just mix all that together. They recommended that you put it in a microwave, which I'm sure would work, but I baked it.
Okay. And
it turned out just fine. I did also. I was just like, okay, this is pretty good, but I also added this. I did this after I had baked it. I added stevia, like powder.
Sugar.
Stevia.
Yeah, but it's not sugar.
No,
like it's sweetening.
It's a sweetener.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was just being layman by saying it's sugar. But okay.
Yeah.
Why would you add sugar to it?
No. Well, it's
sorry.
zero carbs.
Why would you add stevia to it? Sorry.
The taste was like so the bread, the way it came out, and I think this was because of the xanthan gum, came out kind of like on the sweeter side, but it was like making me crave sweetness, but it didn't quite hit it. I don't know how to explain it.
So you just filled it out? Okay.
Yeah, I just filled it out, yeah. So, but I think next time I try to bake it, I'm going to just put in stevia before I start baking it and mix it in with the batch.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So what kind of bread is it making? Like, because it doesn't seem like it has any rising agents. It's not making like a fluffy loaf. It's probably like a flatbread or something, right?
The one I made turned out kind of messy. Because it was, I don't even know how to explain it. Because I made it in like a bowl, like I was mixing everything in a bowl.
Yeah, okay.
And it was very much sticking to that bowl, and I had a hard time removing it.
You're supposed to put flour. Oh, you can't use flour.
Yeah, I use xanthan gum.
Is the xanthan gum flour-like? Is it like a powder?
It's like a powder, yeah.
Okay. But that's what you're supposed to do with like anything that's like that kind of doughy, sticky thing. Mm-hmm. So just put like a flour on it. So it's not till it's like
on the bowl or on the product itself.
Well, okay, depending on how you're doing it, but like on the product itself, and then you keep working it until it's like not super sticky. Okay. It's like sticky enough that it's workable, but it's not like you have to peel it off the bowl or something like that. But a
Yeah.
lot of people, it'll be like like a like a cutting board or something like that. Like
So
it'll be
maybe
a
if I
flat
made it on a
surface.
cutting board and a flat surface and just kept
And
working
then you put your xanthan gum on
I see
the
what you're
board
saying, yeah.
before, and then you put your dough onto it,
Mhm.
and then you're working your dough or whatever you need to do, and then it creates like a kind of equilibrium between stickiness and the board, so it doesn't stick to the board.
Maybe I'll try that. Or
Yeah.
I'll get baking sheet as well, I suppose. And do
That
it.
wax baking sheet would work too.
Yeah, that might work out. So I'll
Then
give
you don't
that
have
a
to worry
shot
about it
next
being
time.
sticky.
Because like when I was finished with it, it was like all in a bunch of different pieces. Like it's not something that was presentable at all.
You're gonna have to show me, but yeah, because I'm thinking of dough being like a big batch of sticky something. But I'm
Yeah.
assuming it's because you're like ripping chunks of it out.
Pretty
right?
much, yeah. That's.
So you
what
made
I mean.
little like mini portions.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it came out pretty good, especially
not-
after I put in the stevia.
That's not bad.
And I'm totally not used to baking at all. It seems like the measurements have to be. Normally, when I cook, I just kind of do whatever I want. But it seems like with baking, I have to be a little bit more precise with my measurements.
Baking is like fucking chemistry.
Mm.
It's the chemistry of food making,
Just-
like science wise.
Yeah, more closely. It's more. That's, I guess, a better way of saying it. Like, I mean, cooking in general is that, but
Yeah.
baking, I think.
But if you do one thing wrong with baking, like especially when it comes to like breads or doughs and shit like that,
Mhm.
if it's like if the recipe says like put little, for example, like flaky pastry, like a croissant,
Okay.
you're supposed to put butter into it, but you're
Mhm.
also put like frozen chunks of butter in it.
Oh,
So then what happens is when you bake it and
Mhm.
it's rising and all the different layers are separating, the
Mhm.
butter is also in between those layers,
oh,
like melting and then creating more layers and
I
shit
see
like
what
that.
you're saying.
So it's like if you don't do that, then your croissant just turns into a fucking like a little shit loaf.
Oh,
You know what I mean? As
interesting.
opposed to being flaky and shit like that.
Oh, you just learned me something.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean, though. Like every little bit. Like,
Yeah.
not because because you're not making like yeast bread, but if you don't put like enough yeast bread and it doesn't rise properly, then the bread doesn't like settle properly, then it just becomes like a soggy mess on the inside
Jesus
or something
Christ.
like that. It's so much work. Same thing with like pies and shit like that. Like you make pies and you make the dough too thick or something like that and it doesn't cook properly, you get a bunch of doughy center and then your whole fucking pie's ruined. Doesn't
Oh.
matter how good the center is if you got a big doughy gross fucking pie crust.
Fuck.
And that's
Okay.
just a bowl that holds the freaking sweet stuff.
Yeah. That's fucking annoying.
Yeah. Like I made
Jesus.
beef Wellington.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Well, no, not recently. A long time ago. I think you had some, didn't you?
I
you made
probably have.
I think it was at Christmas we made it.
Oh, then I did almost most
Yeah,
likely.
remember it was
had
that
yeah.
meat log with the pastry wrapped
I
around
do
it?
remember that.
Yeah, we made the homemade pastry, and Mel and I didn't roll it out thin enough,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we might have fucked up the recipe a little bit. And it was just like it was good, it was all right, but it certainly wasn't like the Gordon Ramsay like presentation that he had.
Yeah,
like,
he would be disappointed.
Yeah, like the meat was good.
Mhm.
The everything we put on the inside was good, but then you have this big thick doughy thing on the outside, and it's supposed to be just a nice crispy layer of like bread or whatever on the outside.
Just it's supposed to just slightly complement.
Yeah,
I
yes.
suppose.
Yeah, like there's supposed to be a little bit of it, but we had like a thick like quarter-inch. No, maybe that's too much, but like thick enough that you can see it.
I can't even remember, man. That was a while ago.
It's the one where it's got the big tender meat log in the middle.
Oh, I
wrapped around
remember
pastry.
something like that.
I don't
but
think it was last year. I think it was the year before.
like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think so. Christmas.
Fuck, so long ago,
Like
man.
a year and a half by now. But yeah, that was really good. I gotta try that again. Work on that dough part of it.
I feel like I spend most Christmases with you.
In the last like 4 years, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Ever since we started like you coming over
Uh-huh.
here, which at least has been the last 3 years.
I think the first one was with Adam.
No. First year is when I was having dinner with Mel and we got fancy steaks. And then,
Yeah,
I
that's
ended up
right.
just getting you like a regular steak.
Yeah.
And then we watched my tradition of watching Dennis Leary's A Merry Fucking Christmas,
Yep, there we go.
which I like doing, but even I've like overwatched that. Even though it's
Yeah.
12 months apart,
Yeah.
I still remember everything that happens because it's a pretty short special, but I still like watching
Kinda
Christmas
meh,
special.
To be honest, Dennis Leary is not that funny to me.
Yeah, but he's not the only part in that.
Fair enough. Yeah. Like his whole asshole song. I remember loving it when I was younger, but like,
It's still good.
It's all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I still
Mhm.
like it.
Yeah. Yeah, my week has been a lot of literally like I come home and like immediately like on Wednesday I knew there was a problem with me just sleeping too early.
Yeah.
And I was just like trying not to, but as soon as I sit on the couch, like I just fucking fall asleep.
Yeah.
So on Wednesday, I came home, and so Tuesday I came home and I decided to make that bread. I managed to do it and I ate it and that was great. Wednesday came home, just fell asleep. Thursday came home, just fell asleep. Friday home, sleep.
So you didn't do anything with your evening?
I literally didn't do anything for like this entire week.
Damn.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, sleep when it's off, it will fuck you up like that.
it's fucking awful. Was it Friday? No, Friday I came home and I didn't sleep right away. That's what it was. Yeah.
Because you finally reset.
Yeah. Well, I forced myself not to. Like as soon as I like started to doze off on the couch, I went outside for a walk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm not falling asleep until like at least 11 o'clock. But then after a certain point, like after 11, I just wasn't even sleepy anymore. It's like just the way my body works.
So you just stayed up all night?
I stayed up until about 1.
Oh, okay. So that's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's only 2 more hours.
I would have preferred if I had slept at maybe midnight. I feel like midnight's a good time to fall asleep, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Ish. I think my aiming is usually for like, well, now I've just thrown that out of the window, but I used to try to go to like bed for like 1.
1?
Yeah,
Mm.
like I'd stop playing video games at 12 to give my brain like a moment to like stop working at high capacity.
Yeah.
And then watch stuff and then pass out by 1. But now I'm like playing games till like 2. Because
Yeah.
I'll play Smite for a bunch and then people want to play Siege and I'm like, well, I can't say no to Siege. And I'll be playing the fucking Siege till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Fuck, I don't know how you can do that. Like, especially, well, yeah, but it's also like playing with people. Like, after about 10 o'clock, I just don't want to hear from anybody.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to be left alone.
Yeah, I just mute myself. Because in that way I don't have to be a conversationalist.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really like Siege.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And with that, you have to talk. Do you want to play the game?
Your news game? Sure.
Yeah. Which one is fake news? I feel like people only want to hear about our week so much.
That's fine. I mean, I kind of told you I don't have much, and you obviously don't either.
No.
But I will say,
less.
I'll say one thing about the sleep thing. That I had that a couple weeks ago, where like my work was really slow. No, not a couple weeks, probably a month or so ago. My work was so slow that I had a bunch of days off,
Mm-hmm.
and
that probably fucked you up.
and it fucked me up super bad. Like I was staying up till like 5 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
like having 4-day weekends and shit like that, and then I'd go to work at like 11. And then I was like, they were like, can you come in for 10? Because it's kind of late. And I'm like, sure. But like all this time off, guys, it's really fucking up my sleep schedule because I'm staying up till like 5 on a Thursday into Friday because I don't have work on Friday. But
I like
yeah.
how you just said that to them. Like most people are just like, yeah, I'll do it.
As I've said before, and I hope that my work never listens to these podcasts, but fire me. I'm fucking Superman.
Yeah, they would have a hard time firing you. My work would fire me easily.
Yeah, but I don't think it would be that easy.
They would have a hard time finding a replacement for me, but like
and a replacement that's as efficient and works as well as you do with the techs.
Well, fair enough. Yeah,
I think that's the big thing is like the techs are the guys out there actually executing on all the things you do.
Mm-hmm.
Your job could be done by probably anybody, but the fact that the techs respect you and like you
Mm-hmm.
makes their job for everybody a lot easier.
Supposedly they like me. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure
They gave you free shit, Ken. Nobody would spend money on a coworker unless they actually liked you. Trust me. I've received very few gifts in my life working for a company that I've been with for 5 years. Most of the time, it's beer. And that's usually because my boss likes drinking beer.
Well, mind you, like when the guys did like buy me dinner those couple times, like it's because, I gave them jobs where they made like, I mean, part of the reason is because they worked fucking hard, so
Yeah.
I don't want to take that away from them.
Yeah.
But like they probably made like a good $600 to $800 in like one day.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's like what I make fucking in almost a week.
I know, right?
It's ridiculous.
And so like for 10 days in a row, the amount that these guys are making is around that much.
Boatloads.
Almost every day. There is the occasional day where they only make $100, but
Mhm.
like I try to, make it work for them.
They don't work by the hour. They work like by job.
It's by job.
Oh man, that's so weird.
Well, it's stressful on my end because like let's say this is not entirely accurate, but let's say job A is insanely difficult and job B is super easy. So the job A will take maybe 3 hours to do,
Mhm.
job B maybe 1 hour,
Okay.
but they both pay the same.
So obviously everybody wants B.
Yeah, pretty much. And so I have to like keep trying to manage who I'm giving the shitty jobs
Oh,
to.
dude,
who I'm
I'd be
giving the good
great
jobs.
at your job. I'm so fucking like OCD about that shit where it's like everybody's got to be average. I'd start putting up fucking graphs and having little checkerboards being like, you got all the easy jobs this week. Now you get the shitty jobs next week. Fuck you.
That's
Taking turns.
maybe I should create a graph for it.
I wouldn't. You do enough work as it is. I'm just crazy that way.
Yeah, well, but that's kind of the hard part of it, and just keeping track of everything.
And being fair, not being an asshole.
Then
Yeah.
what makes it harder is that the guys who are most skilled are the ones who can do the shitty jobs faster.
Yeah.
But then you're still giving them the shitty jobs, and that's still like an asshole thing to do since they have more abilities.
Yeah. To execute more.
Yeah. Anyways,
So which one is fake?
Which one is fake? All right. Let's see. Okay. Start with this one.
You want a light to read, or are you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. I probably need to move my mic a little bit though. Trump praises Kim on immigration with the quote, "No one is trying to get into your country."
Yeah.
CBU instructor fired after demanding sex, moose meat, and lobster for better grades.
Wait. Hit me with that one again?
CBU, which is some kind of university, I don't know.
Oh,
which one.
okay. Yeah. I was trying to figure out what that was.
Instructor fired after demanding sex, moose meat, and lobster for better grades. So the instructor was demanding,
Because he was doing a good job, so as a bonus he wanted.
no. So the person.
Oh, he was soliciting his students for sex and moose meat.
Yeah. That's,
Oh,
that's
okay,
what-
yeah. All right.
Okay. I'm not gonna read the full title of this because I wanna save part of it for later. But
Okay.
man tries to run over neighbors popping fireworks in the street. Deputies say he ran over neighbors popping fireworks. So
He ran over his neighbors that were popping fireworks.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Again, you have to work on reading those titles a little bit better.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, no, sometimes, like, I do have a problem with reading sometimes where, like, I just can't do it well, basically.
That's fine.
Yeah, anyway.
We'll work on it. Okay. Let's go for another round. Let's read out the titles one more time in order,
Okay.
and then I'll tell you which one I think is fake.
Trump praises Kim on immigration, with the quote, "No one is trying to get into your country."
Okay.
CBU instructor fired after demanding sex, moose meat, and lobster for better grades.
Okay.
Man tried to run over neighbors popping fireworks in the street.
Okay, yeah. I feel like the first one's real because
Okay.
Donald Trump's just that dumb
Yeah.
for certain things. You know what I mean? Like it sounds something stupid that he would say, even though he's not taking into account the
No.
fact that North Korea doesn't let people in generally.
it's their policy.
Yeah, it's their policy that they
Yeah.
don't let anyone in, and
Yeah.
as well as who the fuck actually wants to go to North Korea other than for like intrigue.
Yeah,
but-
well,
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. Like, Donald Trump's a fucking moron.
I mean, not completely, but he would say something stupid like that, like a false equivalency. It's like, America is not North Korea.
Yeah.
North Korea does not have Disneyland on either coast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Second one sounds pretty legit. I almost want to say that I wish I knew what the CBU, like which university it was, because the lobster thing, if it was like a coastal city, I'd be like, okay, yeah, it's probably a real thing because he's asking for lobster because it's local. But if it's like if it's fucking like Colorado or somewhere in the Midwest, I'm like, where the fuck is he gonna get lobster? Right? There's no fucking way that someone's gonna just get their hands on lobster easily.
Cape Breton.
Cape Breton, isn't that fucking Canada? That's Canada, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Breton?
Cape
Okay.
Breton. That's like where Mel's family is from.
Oh, okay.
I think that's like Nova Scotia.
I don't know.
Okay, so lobster is definitely prolific
It's
there.
possible.
Yeah.
At Cape anything, there would be water.
Okay. And then the third one.
What was it?
Did he say he attempts or he does?
He
run
does.
over?
He does.
Okay. Americans
Or
are pretty.
actually, I should say he
Okay.
tries.
Hold on a second.
Yeah,
For
it
the
does say
third
tries.
for the third one, did it take place in America? Can you tell me?
Yes, because I read the article and it happened around 4th of July.
Damn it. Okay. It's got to be the second one or the third one. I don't want to look at you. I want to see.
You've been okay. You know what? You just from talking to me, you've been approaching them from a point of which one is true, try thinking which one is not true.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that by process of elimination because I'm trying to say the ones that are most realistic or seemingly realistic considering all the hot take like and clickbaity titles for articles and shit like that. America is just so crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if someone tried to run somebody over for lighting fireworks, but it's not a common occurrence. But then again, someone soliciting someone for sex and fucking lobster meat. And also, now it makes way more sense why I said moose meat. Now that I realize it took place in Canada.
Actually, yeah, I suppose so. That makes sense.
I'm gonna say number 3. I'm gonna say the dude trying to running people over for fireworks is the fake one.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, it's my final answer.
Okay, no, wrong again.
Fuck's sakes.
It's the Donald Trump one.
It's the Donald Trump one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It sounds something so stupid that he would actually say it.
Yeah, no, I'm fully aware.
He makes false equivalencies all the time with things that don't make any fucking sense.
This one's kind of funny though.
He wanted star athletes to eat fucking 2-hour cold McDonald's as a banquet feast.
That's wonderful.
No, it's cold McDonald's. Dude, McDonald's doesn't even last 20 minutes in a fucking bag if you try to bring it home.
Look, if it's a cold McChicken, I'll fucking eat it.
It's the White House, and it's star athletes from a university.
Look, if I was being invited to the White House and they gave me fucking cold McDonald's, I'd be satisfied with that.
I wouldn't.
I would prefer hot
garbage.
McDonald's. But...
garbage, dude. That motherfucker. You got a fucking probably a 5-star fucking chef working in the White House, and you motherfuckers are bringing me stale ass McDonald's. I'm a fucking pro athlete. Feed me some good shit, not just garbage. I can eat McDonald's whenever I want. It's $10.
When I was younger, my older brother had this fucking annoying ass habit where like we'd get McDonald's and we'd bring it home, and the first thing he would do is put like everyone take out the food they want to eat right there. For some people it'd be French fries, for some people it'd be burgers, right? Some people prefer to start differently. He'd put the rest of it in the fridge, and I'd fucking have to keep telling him not to fucking put my shit in the fridge.
Oh, like everybody else's food?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like something
he's just like, oh, but like it's gonna go bad. I'm like, no, it's fucking, I want the food to stay hot. Keep it out of the fucking fridge. Also,
it's McDonald's. It takes like a year for it to go bad.
Yeah, it's
you ever seen a fucking cheeseburger go moldy? No, neither have I.
Go moldy, yeah. All right, so this Trump praises Kim on immigration, and he quotes, no one is trying to get into your country. So here's some other great quotes from Donald Trump. Your border is amazing. There are no people whatsoever trying to get in. You should see our border. It's a complete mess. Let's see. Barely containing his envy, Trump continued, of course you don't have Congress to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, see, again, a lot of this would be fleshed out if I read the article.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. Actually, you know what? The one you chose, that one reads a little bit like fake news as well.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, and I'll show you why soon. So, let's see. The last part of this one is another thing that Trump said to Kim. I have so much to learn from you. You must be doing something right. Fucking amazing.
Damn it. I gotta get one of these right eventually. I thought I was gonna do good on these.
My goal was to make this one easier for you, but as I so I found 3 articles originally. I'm just like, okay, the fake one is gonna kind of stand out here. I think he'll get it. Yeah. But then I found these 2 other like real articles that are also kind of funny. I was like, I have to fucking bring these in.
The second one sounds legit. Like the third one, I could argue, like I said, it was fake. Mm-hmm. That one seems like the fakest out of those 2.
Tried to run over a neighbor. Yeah. Okay, so I'll read that one out here now. Man tried to run over neighbors, popping fireworks in the streets. Okay, so a man tried to run his vehicle over his neighbor who was popping fireworks on the evening of 4th of July.
Oh, so who the fuck says popping fireworks?
Yeah, I know, it's such a... how would you say it? Like, what do you... Just fireworking?
Lighting fireworks, probably, setting off fireworks.
Yeah. But,
anything?
The victim told deputies he was in their cul-de-sac lighting fireworks for his family when his neighbor got in a vehicle and accelerated towards him. So you just popping fireworks. There we go, popping. And then you just see some crazy asshole just driving towards you.
Fucking crazy ass Americans.
The suspect, identified as 68-year-old Chris, I don't want to say his name, then began doing donuts in the cul-de-sac. He almost lost control of the vehicle.
That's a fucking joke article.
Yeah, see, right? Like, I thought...
My instincts were totally right.
Yeah, your instincts are right. Yeah,
sounds like such bullshit. A 68-year-old doing donuts?
Yeah, and it gets better.
In a cul-de-sac?
It gets better. This is why I was trying. This is why I didn't read the whole headline because it has this quote. The suspect eventually parked the vehicle back in his driveway and yelled, "Now this is how you party."
What?
Yep.
Fucking people, dude.
That was I have to remember to say where these articles are from. I just feel like I should. That was from Khou. I don't know what that is.
I feel like you should only bother mentioning it if it comes from like a big name source. Like if it's like CNN or the Beaverton or the Onion or something like that, then it's worth mentioning. But if it's just like some random like dumb site where some idiot's posting any fucking article they can for any local news, I don't think it really matters.
Well, it gives people a chance to fact check me and make sure
I
didn't bring in a fake article.
I suppose, yeah.
That I thought was real.
I mean, I feel like they could just punch in that fucking titles into Google and find the article, but yeah.
The Trump praises Kim one is from the New Yorker, but it's from their humor column.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, after telling people after where the article comes from, I think is helpful, or at least interesting.
So the CBU instructor one is from Cape Breton. This was actually kind of a pain in the ass to read because this person doesn't really know how to write.
Okay.
But I do have some parts highlighted. But basically, the instructor. This is just something that pissed me off. The instructor is male, and
of course,
and the person that he was soliciting is female.
Although I would love to see an article about a woman who's doing that.
Nothing would happen. But
I just think it would be hilarious to imagine a woman demanding fucking sex, moose meat, and lobsters for doing a good job. Or sorry, for better grades. I think that'd be hilarious.
It's the moose meat and the lobster that push it too far. The sex, you can get that. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that part. But basically, this author does this thing a lot where, like, and you see people when they talk about groups of people, they do this often as well.
Mm-hmm.
But often when people talk about more than one person, and then they use the word but he said X or she said X.
Okay.
You don't know who the he or she is referring to.
They're not specifically targeting
this article fucking does that a lot, and it was pissing me off because, like, for the first little bit, I couldn't tell if the professor was male or female because, like, a bunch of sentences had both of them in there.
Because he was soliciting female students, likely, yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of the sentences, like, talked about the professor and the woman, but then it would say it would use the word like they solicited whatever.
Okay,
like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Again, another thought that would be funny is if it was a gay professor soliciting for gay sex.
Yes,
moose meat and lobsters. It would also be hilarious.
But yeah, demanding sex, moose meat, and lobster from student that was struggling in the course in exchange for
taking
grades.
Advantage of students that aren't doing well too. Fuck you.
Yeah, well that's how it is, right?
Yeah.
It's just why moose meat and lobster? Why?
Because it's Canada, dude. It's Canada. Fucking lobster's expensive, and moose meat. Not everyone's gonna go out and shoot a fucking moose.
She went to the university officials February 7th after the employee suggested that they could be friends with benefit during extra help sessions he offered to the woman and another female student. They don't know. Apparently, the professor was asking them like deeper questions, not super deep, but stuff like how many sexual partners have you had, and have you ever done drugs or did crazy things at a party before? This is from a fucking professor.
Hey, that's not even like. Even if your objective was to get laid, like solicit sex from your students for grades, those two questions don't have any relevance. Whether or not you have sexual partners, or or how many you've had, or if you've done something crazy at a party, feels like irrelevant questions to your goal.
I've had women ask me how many sexual partners I've had.
Yeah, but that's different. That's like just a conversation between two people. I'm talking about like you got to think about it. It's a position where I am trying to get something out of you.
Yeah.
It's sex.
Like, why are you diving any deeper?
Why the fuck would I care if you fucked other people? Who cares? All I want to do is stick my dick in you. That's all that really matters.
So this is where I think it would be different for men and women at this part here. Okay. The employee came out to the woman's car to get the moose meat and lobster. When they got to the car, she said he demanded they have sex.
Okay.
And that's where she had the problem with it. That's where she's just like, I have to go to officials.
Okay.
So I guess it started out with moose meat and lobster. It's a slippery slope right there. First it's moose meat and lobster, then then it's just sex.
It's so fucking odd.
Yeah. Um, and that's what I'm saying. It'd probably be different for guys, because like with the guys, it would just be like the sex would be okay. But as soon as you start demanding moose meat and lobster from a college student,
I don't got money for that.
No, I have fucking money to give you that. I'm going to officials. And this part was kind of this part was where I was just like, okay, kudos to her. She's just like, because I knew I was not going to sleep with this instructor, but I also did not want to fail the class, but he made it clear that I had to have sex.
Oh, okay.
So then she went to the officials, and she's 100% glad she did it. I knew by the way he approached me how comfortable and demanding he was, and how clear he made his demands, that I was not the first he had approached in this way.
Yeah, that seems likely.
Yeah.
So when like, if it was just sex, I'd believe that it's like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. But when it's like the moose meat and lobster, that's when it's like, okay, you've been at this for a while. You're starting to demand other things. Like
Yeah.
it's probably like the moose meat and lobster, like how they were saying that after that he was about to get that, like, receive the moose meat and lobster from this chick, then he demanded sex.
Mhm.
That's no different than being like going up to a chick and she's like, I'm not interested in you, but we can be friends, and be like, yeah, we can be friends, and just waiting it out to fuck them. It's like, that's moose meat and lobster is like the friend zone. So you're just gonna wait it out, and then when they're in a jam, like, now we gotta bang.
Man, he should have just stopped there and just taken the moose meat and lobster.
Honestly, I would take the
deal.
lobster and the moose meat. Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
The fact that you were gonna get away with that just for giving someone a little bump in grades,
Yeah.
I'm surprised that she even did that, to be honest.
And like nobody, I mean, he'd probably still lose his job, to be honest. But
if he
like,
got reported,
like people, it wouldn't look as bad, right? So like,
Yeah.
he's caught for trying to have sex with her. That's fucking horrible. But like, if it was just like he's trying to get moose meat and lobster, you're like,
soliciting meat. Yeah, so that's passable.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just don't ask. No more meat for you, bud.
Yeah.
If you want to work at this college, you got to be vegetarian from now on.
Yeah. No. So like, I just.
Sorry, university.
Oh man, I can't even see how long we've been. This is gonna be a shorter episode for sure.
You think so?
I was gonna bring.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, I was gonna bring in this other article too, but I totally forgot to. But it's basically, and I would have given you like half a point if you had guessed it.
Oh,
But
okay.
I totally forgot to bring it.
Oh, the other one that you actually want to talk about?
No, not actually wanted to, but it was just.
Well, no,
it was
you
one
always
that
bring
I
a
was gonna...
fourth article that we
No.
actually discuss,
Yeah, well, we can,
or
I guess
at
we
least
can do that.
consistently you have been. But...
There was the one article where it was written sincerely. So this woman was looking into facial recognition, like 3D facial recognition.
Yeah.
And using it on like porn websites to identify women, something like that.
Okay.
So she was looking into that, and she was like trying to find people who have used it or want to use it and make a piece about them.
Okay.
And so she went on Reddit and found this guy who quote unquote used it. So she's writing this article sincerely, but this guy's just fucking with her for the whole thing. And he has never used it before, has never even thought about using it. So she's like asking him like why he wants to use it, and he's like giving the sob story about like his ex-girlfriend who, when he names her, is just a random porn star. So he gives her like bits of like breadcrumbs to find out that he's bullshitting with her. She never fucking like takes it. And he's saying like, oh, she like never wanted to have sex with me, but she was out all night all the time, and so I want to use this facial recognition software to see if she's done porn before. And stuff like that. So that it's this entire article where he's just like talking about like exes that he's never had sex with. Like he does it a couple times. Yeah. And every name he gives is a porn star. And if the journalist, quote unquote, had just looked up any of those names, she would have realized it. But she wrote the article sincerely talking about the dude, and I just heard this guy online, and he's just like laughing at her, and everything that she said is just really funny.
Fact check your sources.
Yeah, like fuck, like, And she works for a publication too. It's not like her own personal thing.
I'm saying journalism is taking a nosedive because people think that, and I've said this before in like a previous podcast, just because you're a journalist, people think you automatically have journalistic integrity. No. You have to uphold yourself to journalistic integrity. And while this is pretty low grade and the egregiousness of bad journalism, it's so easy for people to just throw out journalistic integrity for the sake of, I need to write an article.
I need to write a hit piece.
Yeah.
And she did write it in a way that was a hit piece.
A hit piece in what way?
Like
against the guy that
against
fucked her
men
over?
in general. Like against him, but like, men just want to use this thing because of like women that don't satisfy them.
For like insecure reasons?
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So she just wanted to write the hit piece, right? So like even though it's clear that like he was just fucking with her the whole time,
yeah,
like she's probably not even gonna care. Like I doubt that the article she wrote is gonna come down from their website. It's a good clickbaity
whatever
piece,
Even if they just get a couple hits on it, it's still like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere on the internet.
I mean, like again, like what Tim Pool is saying, Tim Poo.
You mean the kid from South Side Boston that's got an interracial family?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Always wears a beanie, Beanie Man. By the way, I got the term Beanie Man from somebody I know that really hates Tim Pool. It's like a leftist friend of mine who thinks Tim Pool is like an alt-right Nazi. And he's just like, fucking Beanie Man. Like, that's a good name. I'm going to start calling him that.
I like mine. I like long-winded jokes.
You like your long-winded nicknames?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was saying like a couple years ago that he was at like some event or whatever, and like all the other like bigger news outlets were like looking down on him, just being like, oh, independent journalists are not like us. We're the prestigious class. We're the good shit. We have a badge that has our company logo on it. So, all right, calm down, buddy. And now like he gets invited to the White House and not them, and he's just way more. I'd say he's more influential than a lot of other people on news websites, or not news websites, news platforms.
Like what? Like a mainstream news platform?
Yeah, like I don't know
NBC?
who's on CNN and stuff, but
I don't watch a lot of CNN, so I don't know for sure. But I don't know. I always feel like Tim Pool's like, not undervalued. It's not the word I'm looking for. Like more underground. Even though he's prolific in the sense that he's been a part of Vice and he's done a bunch of shit and he's a known name and stuff like that, and he's been on the Joe Rogan podcast a bunch, and he's been doing this shit for a while, like over 10 years. I still feel like he's always like an under the radar journalist, as opposed to like how you're saying that he's like bigger than a lot of people. I don't feel
he's
like
not mainstream media.
I know that, but I'm just like bigger than mainstream media, because CNN's a mainstream media organization, right? Yeah. And if you're saying he's bigger than CNN, that's
I think he's more influential. I don't know. I think. Well, he was saying so. Check this. But I think I remember him saying that like he gets more views than like CNN does on their typical segments. But
it's possible TV doesn't get a lot of viewership anymore.
I don't have cable.
Yeah,
I haven't had cable, and I don't even know how long. It's been so many years without cable that I've forgotten how long I've not had it.
I haven't had cable since I lived with my mom when I was like 19.
Oh, there we go.
So like when I moved out, I haven't had cable since then.
Yeah.
Like the only time that it came close to me watching like authentic TV is back when we had the Olympics and they put the Canada versus US hockey game on.
Oh yeah, I
like CBC that. And it was free.
Yeah.
Because it's like channel. That's like the CBC is always free in Canada.
Yeah.
But that's like the last time I watched like quote unquote cable TV. Other than that, it's all been interbutts.
I remember that night pretty well because the final game when Canada won and there was the riot in the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Was that Canada versus US? Am I right about that?
I'm pretty sure. I think it was.
Or was it maybe Vancouver versus Boston? I think that might have been the riot. Or maybe it was both of them?
No, I think you're right. I think it was Canada versus the Boston Bruins, because we got our ass handed to them in like the finals or semifinals, like 2-3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And then this time it was the actual finals,
and we lost.
And I think we lost, and then everybody
and then
like,
they
lost
rioted.
their shit.
I think maybe that's the night that I remember.
Yeah, that's the riot.
I was in like school and
because
stuff.
when it was the Olympics, I remember leaving my place in Burnaby at the time, and the SkyTrain was packed. I was trying to go downtown for work,
Mhm.
and the SkyTrain was packed. It took like 2 hours to take the
Jesus.
SkyTrain downtown because it's like getting on the SkyTrain was a bitch. Getting downtown was a bitch. Walking through downtown was a bitch. Getting to the location was a bitch. And then by the time I got to work, it was like 2 hours later than I need to be. And there's
Damn.
like, they were already fine for staff anyways, and I was just a fill-in.
Oh,
So I was just went home anyways. But like, man, what a fucking shit show.
what a waste.
And then the riots, they were their own crazy bullshit.
Well, I was saying at the time, and I still believe this, that like even if we had won, there would have been riots. Like people were just looking to
wanted to,
riot.
yeah.
Yeah, and you know, there was probably like one guy leading the charge into Best Buy.
Yeah.
Everyone, come with me.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy. I went down to witness the riots because I just want to like, well, this isn't not gonna happen every single day, so I might as well, you know,
I mean, I suppose,
like
yeah.
quote unquote enjoy it. But I
were
didn't
you
riot.
there?
No, I wasn't rioting. I was,
No,
but I
you in
was downtown. Yeah,
Oh, how was it? Was it?
it was crazy,
like,
dude.
everywhere?
It was crazy everywhere, dude. They broke into like the London Drugs that was on Georgia Street.
Shit, really?
They busted into, where is it? I can't remember. There's like it was like a jewelry store or something.
Mhm.
Like a little bit down Robson, where there's the, I don't know if you remember, but there's like a statue of a bull or some shit.
Mhm.
Is that the same place? I can't remember. But anyways, there's a place, there was like a jewelry store that got robbed. I saw the car that got turned over that was set on fire. Like I
okay.
saw them when they were getting started and they were pushing it over
Jesus
and shit like
Christ.
that. Man, it's like, it's indescribable to a certain degree, but like that mob mentality and like the like everybody getting wrapped up in the moment.
Yeah.
I could feel it even being an outsider where I was like, I am not getting involved with these crazy fucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
At least you had enough sense to not do that. Yeah.
yeah, like it started when I went downtown first, arrived, that like some dude was in the middle of the street and he was like stomping on like a teddy bear or some shit in the middle of the street, but being super aggressive, and then all the cops came over because it was just getting started on the riot, so they were trying to quell anybody freaking out.
Yeah.
And then within a half an hour, it was like
everyone snaps.
people busting into fucking stores, people setting cars
Oh
on
my
fire and
God.
shit like that. And then walking out of downtown, like I'm looking at from the bridge, the Granville Street Bridge, and just black smoke coming out from the center of downtown and stuff
Was
like that.
were buses still running in downtown?
I don't
areas,
think
or
so.
Did they take
I think they
detours?
just shut that shit down. I don't think they.
I would imagine that
yeah,
too.
because they just barricaded it. Well, not barricaded, but they like put up fencing and shit like that
Oh
in
my
a certain
God.
part of downtown, kind of like around Granville Street,
Really?
like the Howe area, like that. All that was like gated off and stuff like that.
Gee, like the cops did that?
Yeah.
Oh, just
Yeah,
to keep everything
like you know when
contained?
they do like they tear down a house and they put up like that blue fencing shit,
Mhm.
like that shit was everywhere
Jesus.
downtown, blocking off just like the main strip of Granville Street.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's pretty much just like fences on wheels.
Yeah.
So that,
And even then,
Yeah.
like people just busted them down eventually, anyways. But like it was pretty
Fuck.
much contained to like that central part of downtown.
what a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
I also hated the Facebook idiots afterwards. That's just like, hey guys, we're Canadian, we're better than this, blah blah blah. I hate because like what's the word that I'm looking for? The virtue signaling of like, oh, I'm better than these people is also kind of
Yeah.
pissing me off. I just want to just make fun of everybody who is there.
I'm not as stupid as all these people to think
Yeah.
that I'm gonna get away with rioting, and then, hence all the people that got arrested for turning that car over and setting it on
It's
fire.
Good, because those people are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And they're
But I'm not going
doing
to say
something
that
super
Canadians
dangerous.
are better. No, we're all fucking humans. Everybody. If I was in the middle of downtown, I might have been caught up in the mob and think, honestly, when I saw them pushing over the car, I wanted to join. I'm like, man, I really feel like pushing that car over with them. I don't know what it was. It was
It's
like
like the magnetism of the
yeah,
mob, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's like primal.
Yeah.
It's fucking, you'd probably do it too if you were in the middle of it. But
Mhm.
like with the objective of knowing everything's going to shit
Mhm.
and then going downtown and expecting everything to be shit, it made it really easy for me to be just like, nope, not doing this. Shit's getting crazy. It's time to leave fucking downtown. It's time to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
The fun's over.
Someone's gonna shoot you.
Well, I don't know about that. We don't have a lot of guns, but
It's a shame.
I don't want to get like tackled or assaulted or who knows what.
I mean, a cop might just even put you aside just because, like, you're in the area. They don't have time to listen to your story. They
Yeah.
just got to put you fucking right there in cuffs.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, like, but man, that time was fucking bullshit. I remember just being like, I was in school for teaching English as a second language
Yeah.
at the time, which I got my certificate in, but I never fucking used it. And during that night, I went to like the McDonald's near me, and I was just like watching like
On the
on
news?
the
Yeah.
news on their
Yeah,
TV there.
I went home and I watched the rest of it. Like I came home at like 8 or 9 or something like that, and it kept going to like 10 or 11, and I was just watching it
Oh my god.
on YouTube or whatever.
Just seeing what's
Yeah,
going
like
on.
a live stream of like crazy shit going.
Yeah, no, man. That shit was fucking crazy. I could not. I don't know. If I were there, I don't know what I'd do, but I hope I wouldn't join in. I feel like I'm pretty good with not following
It's
the
really
mentality
hard
of
to
other
say
people.
until you get there and you're like part of it. Because if you would went with a bunch of people that were also doing it, then you'd feel more inclined.
Yeah, I know.
And stuff like that. It's like every little bit, every step that you take closer and closer to the mob and being closer to it is another step closer to you probably just like
Just
saying
joining
fuck
in,
it.
yeah. It's so easy, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
You're caught up in the moment because you think like, oh, everybody's doing it.
That's how these.
It's like there's a lot of other people in Vancouver that are not fucking rioting right now.
That's how those fucking like Antifa mobs are always starting.
Yeah.
It's like everyone just gets into the mentality and like is, I don't know, violent.
Everyone supports each other for the violence that they're
and it's
committing.
the fucking like Proud Boys or conservatives or whatever that are there too are the same way. Like they are there to fight.
Yeah.
And what was it? We have a friend who always goes to those kinds of rallies in Vancouver. I think he's a friend of both of us.
Well, you'll have to tell me later.
Yeah.
So we don't out him on our podcast that no one listens to.
He's always going, and then like he told me about it because like I always make Facebook posts and like Antifa pages and like
I see it every once in a while of your stuff, and then I like make joke comments to you.
Yeah. And so he because he's somebody we knew in high school, but he was a year younger than us, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so like he saw me at one point, or he saw one of my comments, I guess, and like messaged me on Facebook. He's just like, "Dude, there's this Antifa rally going on in Vancouver," and I was like, "No, I'm not, it's okay. I'm not gonna."
No thanks.
But like he wants to go there and mess with them. Like I don't want to mess with Antifa. I just want to go there and like do my own thing.
He's against Antifa.
Yeah, he's against Antifa.
Okay,
Yeah, he's totally with he's totally like us, right?
Okay. So see, I was misunderstanding. I thought he was like going to the rallies and
he was going. No, he wants to go to the rallies to troll them. Like he's not going to go fight them, but he's there if there is a fight, sort of thing, you know. But like what I want to do with one of our friends is get him to wear. And I mentioned this. Get him to wear a Black Lives Matter shirt with a "Make America Great Again" hat, right?
Yeah.
Certain friend of ours. I don't know if you know who I'm thinking of.
You just tell me later. It's all right.
All right. And I just wanted to go to somewhere like UBC or any kind of Antifa rally and just wear those two things at the same time, and just not provoke anyone, like not say anything like trolly or anything. Just be totally like nice and sincere to everyone, and just see who gets like angry first, sort of thing. Like I don't want you to like say anything that would piss them off. Just wear the hat and the shirt and just see what happens.
Just be a silent presence.
Yeah. It's a friend of ours. I'll just say he used to have an afro.
Oh, like a close friend?
Yeah.
Oh,
close friend, yeah.
So
and I want him to wear it specifically because of his race.
His heritage?
Yeah. Yeah.
Black native?
Yeah. Or a black native friend. Yeah. Because I think it'd be hilarious if he wore those two things at the same time.
They would just call him a coon, let's be honest.
I mean, they might, and they've done that kind of thing before. Because like you'll even hear them say online, "Oh, black people can be white supremacists too."
Yeah.
It's all right, buddy. Yeah. Like, if you're saying that, chances are there's something wrong with the way you think.
Yeah, again, it's like, you're not, just because you're anti-fascist or you're against racism doesn't give you a free pass to be racist.
Yeah.
It's funny, though, I was actually talking to Mel not too long ago. I can't remember how we got started on this, but we were talking about, like, she didn't believe me that coon was a racist slur for black people.
She didn't?
No, she didn't. And I was trying to explain to her, I'm like, remember that shirt that I made for South Park, the "Who is the Coon" shirt? And I stopped wearing it because I had the epiphany that it's a fucking racist slur. Yeah. And I thought it was just a funny joke. With a little bit of a slur, but then I didn't realize that it was that like that direct. And I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't wear this shirt. Yeah. And that's a bit of a stretch for me to like even go that far to say I'm not going to do something because I think it's going to affect somebody. Anyways, we looked up the actual definition of coon. It is a racial slur. And then we got on the topic of like other racial slurs. I didn't realize that honky is a white racial slur.
You didn't?
I thought it was another black racial slur.
No, honky's totally for white people.
Because I was trying to be like, well, like quote unquote, like everybody hates black people or white people hate black people so much they'll just have like a whole like barnyard full of racial slurs for them. You know what I mean? Like porch monkey, nigger, negro. Fucking,
I didn't even hear porch monkey until Clerks 2. That's the first time I heard that statement.
Coon and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, just throw honky in there too, right? Because I would throw a Rolling Stones song Rolling Stones song on Siri, the app or whatever, at work, and she would bleep out honky, and I'm like, well, no one's ever gives a shit about racism against white people, so I'm thinking honky's a word for black people, right? But no, apparently it's like a term for Southern people.
Yeah,
people.
I'm surprised you didn't know that.
No, I'm
shocked.
Like, I knew that it was a racial slur, but I never realized it was specifically to black people. Sorry, not to black people, but to white people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, there you go, because I thought like, oh, like no one ever has anything good for white people racial slurs. It's like it's mostly just cracker. That's who no one gives a fuck. I don't think anyone gives a fuck about honky either. But still, like,
no, nobody cares.
Nobody cares in the end. But still, like, I was like, oh my god, I actually learned something. So apparently, I'm just spouting off a bunch of racial slurs right now. But
it's okay because it's to white people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, apparently honky is a racial slur for white people.
So what does coon mean? Because I know coon is derogatory towards black people.
I'm thinking like the definition didn't really specify why coon is a racial slur, but my take away from it is that because raccoons are scavengers, you know what I mean? They'll take whatever they can get. So if it's like if the white man gives you some scraps,
I see,
and you align with the white man, you're a coon. I think it's like, and also like, you know,
I didn't even think about that way. That makes sense. Yeah,
you know, they're shitty animals. I don't know. Like,
I fucking love raccoons.
I think raccoons are like pretty cool too. I like them with their little fucking hands and stuff, but they're little shits.
They're geniuses. That's why they're little shits.
Yeah.
Did I tell you there was once? It's a shame that their camera couldn't record it because my parents have like security cameras in their building.
Yeah.
But and they didn't capture this one moment. But like, there's this one time when there was these like 4 raccoons. I might have told you this story before.
Okay.
There was like a mama raccoon and her 3 little babies. And you know, raccoons, they walk in a line. So they're walking from our property across the street to I guess our neighbor's property. Okay. The youngest one at the back of the line keeps running away. So and then so the youngest one runs away, and the mom pretty much tells the other 2 to just stay there, stay where they are. Runs after the younger one. Okay, gets it by the scruff of his neck, brings him back to the line. They take a couple steps, the little one runs away again. This happens about 3 times.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then at the last time, the mom starts like hitting the really young ones, like, get your fucking shit together, you little shit. You can hear the youngest one like kind of screaming, and then they finally walk away.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it was super
screeching
fucking cute. Yeah.
That's cute.
Oh man. Oh. Ugh.
I went to the Science World once, and they had like a raccoon pelt. Mm-hmm. Their fur is like super coarse.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's not like a cat or a dog where it's like nice and smooth and like silky and shit like that. Mm-hmm. It's like coarse, thick fibers. It's really hard to explain, but I felt it. I'm like, they're not nice to pet. Mm-hmm. And remember, this is a pelt, so it's not on an animal. Yeah, they could have washed it. They could have like done stuff to it. It's treated to keep. But still, like,
even after all of that, it still ends up being pretty coarse.
Yeah, exactly. So I can only imagine what an actual live raccoon on the street feels like if you were to go and pet it. But yeah, man, I've always wanted a fucking raccoon as a pet.
Yeah, no, like they're super cute.
They have these things in Asia. They're called red pandas.
Oh yeah,
but they're just fucking raccoons that are red.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
okay.
But I want one of those.
You want one of those? Just bring one over.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that would work real well. I'll just get a fucking tiger while I'm at it too.
What did they didn't? Oh no, I think Joe Rogan was talking about leopards being pretty docile. It was either tigers or leopards.
Oh, okay. I don't remember hearing about that.
Family. Okay. Time to.
I mean, do you want me to stretch this out some more? Because I could just talk about some more bullshit.
You can probably talk about bullshit. Where are we at? At 1:30. Well, I just wanted to bring in something that really pisses me off.
All right, go for it. Do you want me to buy you some time? Because the thing I can say is not really a discussion. So I had a fucking weird ass dream a couple nights ago.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I had this dream, but I was in my bedroom and I was like sleeping or naked or something like that. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, and again, don't ask me why, Macaulay Culkin was there.
Oh yeah.
Like in his current age.
Okay.
Right? And I can't remember what we were talking about, but it was something to do with something. And then it got to the conversation of like that we're gonna have sex or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he was talking. I can't remember how it was. I wish I would remember my dream better, memorized it. But basically, I was insinuating that I was gonna fuck him, right? Like I was gonna be the guy fucking him in the ass.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "That's funny that you think that because I'm gonna be fucking you in the ass kind of scenario, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And I turned to him like, "Yeah, all right, I'll let you fuck me in the ass.
Interesting.
You're Macaulay Culkin. I mean, that's a story that I'm willing to accept."
Yeah.
And then I woke up from the dream and I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with me?"
How did your ass feel?
Fine. We didn't have sex. It was just we just got to the conversation part. There's no actual butt play actually happened in my dream, but it's just really weird because well, I haven't heard from anything from Macaulay Culkin in like 4 months.
Yeah.
So who gives a fuck? Why is it popping in my head? I'm not gay.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently I'm like obsessing about gay sex. So here's just another reason for me to be gay.
When did this happen?
Like 3 nights ago, let's say.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, maybe this happened like after you ate the jalapenos.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
tripping like Homer.
Yeah. Well, like no, not that. But like basically, your mind was just like focused on like the spicy fart or spicy shit you're gonna have, and that's how it culminated in your mind.
Into that I'm gonna take a dick in the ass.
Yeah, because like that's gonna hurt, right? So like that's
I suppose
that's the first place I went to.
I suppose.
But that can't be the case because the timeline doesn't line up.
I mean, maybe let's say 3 nights ago. Actually, that might be the case because I think I made it Thursday. Tonight's Sunday. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Because like you.
It would have been Thursday night going into Friday.
Because like it seems to me like after you eat like spicy stuff, you think about your shits that's gonna happen as a result.
I mean, I only thought about my shits this morning because I took a shit this morning and it fucking hurt.
No, but last night you were saying how it was like because we ate the jalapeno burger. And
I was saying that I'm expecting it's gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying. So like in your mind, you are thinking about the end result
about
of
the spicy butthole.
Yeah, and so. Like, I think that just culminated. I hate talking about people's dreams, but I think that's what culminated in your mind. Yeah.
Well, I'll do some more tests. I'll eat some more spicy food, and I'll let you know if I want to get fucked in the ass by other famous people.
Sure. Yeah, we can make a list for
I will say, though, in real life, I've always said that if I was going to be gay, the only person I'd actually let fuck me is probably Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay.
It's the only man. Like, I can appreciate men being attractive, and I can say other famous actors and men are attractive, but no one I'd let fuck me, but Michael Fassbender, I'd give him a free pass.
I hear a lot of older like men say that about George Clooney, and I don't know if I agree with that. Like Michael Fassbender,
he's not my type.
Yeah, but I don't know. George Clooney to me isn't great looking. He's all right.
He's got that old man look. I think is what people like, and he's keeping his age like pretty consistent for the last like 20, 30 years. He
looks good. I mean, I don't know how old he is. I'd imagine he's around 60 or something. But
yeah, I think he's getting up there.
He looks pretty good for his age. I will admit that.
Oh. Well, it's also he's rich and can actually take care of himself.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about your article that pissed you off?
Article? Not article.
You said you
not an article. A trigger.
Oh, trigger. Okay, yeah. I mean, go for it.
All right.
Whenever you're ready.
2 seconds. All right. So this was something that I noticed. A long time ago, but like it's something I noticed again recently. Again, like feminist pages and conservative pages. Typically, a lot of political pages.
Okay.
They will show news articles, but only an image of the article. This fucking infuriates me. So instead of actually giving you a link so that you can go read the article, what they'll do is they'll just like. I don't want to take a snippet. What they'll do is they'll post an image of the headline of an article.
Oh, like a little screen cap?
Yeah.
Like
I don't know
top
if you
of the
see
article?
this very often, yeah.
Occasionally and stuff like that, but it's usually when people are doing like meme pictures or something, or an attempt at a meme picture.
Well, I see this a lot of times in like political groups and stuff where they just post an image of a headline and like, see, look at all the dumb people that are on the other side. Like a conservative will show an image of fucking, I don't know, like Hillary Clinton, the headline will say something like Hillary Clinton wants to bomb Iraq, something like that.
Okay,
I don't know. And then they'll just be like, see, Hillary Clinton is pro-war. She wants to kill a bunch of people, blah, 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 blah. And then like you always ask, I frequently ask, can I see the article?
Yeah.
And then like
what's the contents of the article?
Yeah. And then when I do that, they always just being like, oh, you don't need to see it. Like, it's clear that she's, like, evil and shit.
Yeah, because clickbait titles don't happen.
Well, the thing is, it's also really easy. Like, even I could do it very simply to, it's referred to as, like, change or modifying the elements of a website. So that you go to a website. Let's say I go to Huffington Post.
Okay.
I can modify what the page says. So, like, if it's an article... They did this with Andy No. I'll use this as an example. There was an image going around that showed a headline from, I think it was Fox or something, saying Andy No staged the attack in I forgot what city he was in.
Portland.
Portland, yeah, thank you. Andy No staged the attack in Portland for his own gain, something like that.
Okay.
What they did is they just went to like a Fox article and they changed the elements for it so that it just reads Andy No.
You can do that?
Oh, it's super easy.
I didn't realize that.
You just on Chrome, you just right click and then just click on something called Inspect Elements, and then you just look. A different page will show up with like a bunch of code in it, but you just look for the title of the headline that's currently.
But you're not changing it on the actual website.
No, you're not changing on the actual. You're just changing it for how it looks for you. But you can take an image of that, so people will change what the headline actually says. They take and then they snapshot that image and then show everyone that image and just say it's real. Okay. But the article with that headline never existed in the first place.
Okay.
Yeah. So this kind of shit really pisses me off. And like you try to ask for like evidence that this article exists. You ask for a link or something, and people never give it to you because half the time the articles aren't even real, and then they just look down on you for even asking for evidence. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't see that very often, or maybe I just never catch it. But even for less work than that, I see a lot of people posting articles about things that clearly they only read the headline, and then you read the article and it's just gibberish. Like it doesn't at all articulate a point that the article was trying to make. It's just like it's just people with an ideology championing their ideology, but not actually talking about anything beyond what they are saying in the title of the article.
I've fallen for that a couple times. There's been a bunch of times where like when the article has been posted and then I just read the headline and just make assumptions.
No, man, I did that once in my life where I mean, I can go into full detail of what happened, the whole scenario, but I basically posted an article like based on the title and I just shared it instantly.
Okay.
And then one of my friends got pissed off at me and I read the article and I still kind of agreed with what the article was saying. It was about like, God, I can't remember what it was. It was something mundane. It wasn't even hyper political. It was like something to do with like gender or something like that. Like like mothers raising their kids or something like that. I can't remember what it was. But she was super pissed off at me and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't read the article properly or whatever. And then from then on, every article that someone posts or that I post, I read the whole article.
At least before commenting.
Before I comment or share it or anything. And I'm like, I'm never doing that shit again. And that's how I've caught so many other people being like intellectually dishonest. They'll like post something and then I'll read the article and I'll be like, this article's bullshit. Like it barely makes any coherent sense for the point you're trying to make. All it is a headline that says exactly what you would want it to say.
Yeah, it's basically a clickbait headline. Yeah, that's what a lot of people gravitate towards. They just want to see the headline. Oh, okay, I agree with the headline. I must agree with the article as well. And then just end it there.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit.
It's so weird, but yet everybody's hyper aware of clickbait existing, but nobody actually wants to acknowledge clickbait when it's something you agree with.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. They don't acknowledge it as clickbait if it's something they agree with. Because like to them, fake news is only the thing that
is negative to what their point of view is.
Yeah, or is counter.
Yeah.
I was gonna say earlier, look, we're jumping around a little bit.
Whatever.
Yeah, fair enough. That's the spirit. Because like this was loosely to what you were saying, how people only don't want to follow or only want to view clickbait as the other side, basically. Yeah. I was gonna very loosely related to that and closer back to what we were talking about before, how mob mentality and stuff like that. So, but specifically in regards to like Antifa, like a lot of the stuff they use, and I'm coining this phrase. I'm the one saying it. Okay, all right. I didn't hear this anywhere. I think they are trying to view. They are thinking in ways of allegiance instead of solutions, if that makes sense.
You're gonna have to elaborate.
So, like, Antifa just wants to show as much as possible that they are not white supremacists. Okay, that's their goal. That the people in Antifa, their goal is to show. I mean, what they'll say is that the white supremacists are bad, but their actions are more like a counter allegiance, basically, just being like, we are going to be as anti-white supremacists as possible.
Okay,
but they don't actually think in a way to lower the white supremacist presence.
Well, their idea is that by what they're doing is lowering the white supremacist presence.
But it's not doing that. Like, that's the
It's
thing.
actually
It's
bringing them
actually
out.
increasing
Yeah.
it. I had somebody just recently say, "Oh, but Antifa got Richard Spencer to stop talking." I'm like, "No, dude. Richard Spencer. Do you know who Richard Spencer is? Yeah. Richard Spencer was never fucking famous. He only had a presence because Antifa punched him.
Yeah.
Now that he hasn't had violence for some time, it's gone back down to normal.
Yeah. Same thing with Tommy Robinson.
Yeah, Tommy Robinson.
Tommy
same
Robinson.
thing.
He got arrested, thrown in jail. Nobody talks about him anymore.
Yeah, actually, I feel like a lot of people still talk about
Really?
Tommy Robinson.
Maybe I'm just out of the thing, but like before,
he just got out of jail.
Oh, he just got out of jail. Okay, that's probably why I heard about him recently. But like, there was a stretch there where it's like I think it was like 6 months or something from when he was in jail, and everyone was saying that he was going to get killed in jail and stuff like that because there was a bunch of
like
Muslim extremists in jail already. And then now he's out, and then people are talking about him again, and like he disappeared for 6 months in jail, like a part of the political spectrum, because guess what? He wasn't part of the talking point that you wanted to use anymore.
Nope, no, he wasn't. Although, if I remember correctly, he did actually break a law. Although I think 6 months in jail is, they're stretching that out for sure. Like, he did not deserve 6 months in jail.
I can't remember what his specific crime was.
It was
Wasn't he like not supposed to be in a certain area?
That's exactly it. Like, he just shouldn't have been filming something.
Oh, right, okay.
And he did. And so they put him in jail for it because like they consider it like inciting a crowd or something like that, which is fair enough. I get what they're saying, because sometimes
back to what we said at the beginning, inciting a crowd is a pretty generalized fucking like
and
terminology.
in that case, you blame the crowd, like, right? But like, I get that you don't want the situation to happen altogether and whatever. But like 6 months, I mean, fucking come on.
Well, I mean, whatever. As I see it. Like, I'm not the one that's policy making and putting him in jail, but if that's the crime and that's the time, then
That's the thing. I think they gave him the maximum possible sentence for that crime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, they could have, like, for almost anyone else, that would have been less to nothing.
Yeah. To be fair, the idea of jail is to discourage you from committing the same crime again, so.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work, though.
Yeah. Gets a lot of hits off of fucking doing those inflammatory pieces where he makes himself look like a victim, so.
Well, that's what he's been doing for a while. Yeah. All right, did you want to bring any triggers in at all?
I feel like I was thinking of one throughout the week, but no, I came up kind of dry. I also don't have any words of wisdom because I couldn't think of anything either.
God, you got to work on that.
I know, but it's like I can't because I don't have any good ideas, and I want them to be good. I don't want them to be just throwaway garbage.
Yeah, actually, that's one of my other triggers.
Throwaway garbage?
No, not throwaway garbage, but people who, and I'll elaborate this on another episode, but basically people who just give like the first piece of advice that they can think of.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that pisses you off, but like typically like the first piece of advice people think of is like something that you have already thought of yourself.
It's possible. I mean, maybe. You don't know until you've actually said it to somebody to see if they actually thought of it.
There's been so many times in my life where like I fuck up in a situation, and then I like as soon as after I fuck up, I realize, oh, I should have done this instead. Yeah. And then like you talk to people, and they're like, oh, well, what you should have done is this.
Yeah.
And, gee, thank you for telling me something that I already kind of figured out myself.
Yeah. Well, some people are not that clever to actually think about what their failures were and how to best to avoid them next time. Some people just are like, oops, I fucked up, and then continue with their life, not realizing that they could have done something different if they just thought about it a little bit more.
Just gave it a little bit more thought. Fuck, because I had a backup words of wisdom again, but I totally forgot about it. We gotta not kill this bit though.
Oh, I don't want to. I want to keep doing it, but
you got one more episode to shape yourself up.
Fucking garbage. I had so many good ones, and now they're all gone. Because I wasted them on those test episodes.
Oh yeah, fair enough. And you're still welcome to bring any of those back if you ever want to. And we got to figure out a structure for our episodes, but so far we're getting there.
I feel like it's structured enough.
I like the way it is right now. I don't know. To me, it's just weird where we. I like starting with politics or starting with like news or something.
Yeah,
I definitely like that. It's just weird for me just to do that and then go to what do we do and then week.
That's why I want to do week, because it's intro, and then it's us, and then it's the
But
world,
I want
and
to
then it's
start
our
with like
opinions.
meat and potatoes.
Nah, why? You
Because
gotta
it's
ease
better.
into it. You gotta
It's better.
gotta ease people into it so they want to listen.
Nobody wants to fucking listen to our weeks.
Well, first off, if the idea is that eventually someone will be listening to it, they'll be listening
That-
to it for us, not for the news.
Yeah,
that
then
we
we
talk
transition back.
About. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
no, we just have a good setup now. We can get ahead of the problem, quote unquote problem. We can get ahead of it by just thinking about the structure of it as it flows naturally. I don't know. It's easy because then it gets you talking. You don't have to think about what you want to talk about when it comes to the daily events or anything like that. You just talk about what happened this week, even if it's nothing. You just don't like talking about your week because we don't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason too, which is why nobody wants to fucking listen.
No, nobody wants to listen because nobody knows this podcast generally exists. And then again, my argument is that when people do listen, they'll be listening to us.
If they listen.
If they listen, they'll be listening to us, which starting with our week would seem like the most relevant thing to what people are listening to, which is us. That's just my take. But I also rip off lots of other people's podcasts for structure.
Yeah, people who are already famous when they made their podcast.
I think so, or semi-famous.
That's why there's a difference.
Yeah,
anyways,
but I'm saying get ahead of it. What's the point? We can look good with our shitty episodes that no one's gonna listen to. We don't have to be fucking like pro at episode 100. We could be pro at episode 10.
Fuck, we're not gonna be pro until like episode 200.
Yeah, I hope not.
No, I even by 100, I would be surprised if we had. I would be happy and surprised if we had a Patreon of like $100 by the time we get to episode 100. I don't even like, and that, mind you, that's like 2 years worth of podcasting.
$1 for every episode.
Yeah, basically, like that's what I think is fairly realistic.
Well, we'll see. Who knows?
Yeah,
maybe we'll say something. We'll have a hot take that'll explode.
Yeah,
then we'll be on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah,
10 episodes in.
I mean, fuck, we live in Vancouver. We could just like try to piss somebody off.
Yeah. I mean, that's easy, but that's not really my goal.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, this is red card.
You're just throwing in the red card? Okay.
Yeah. Throwing in the red card. Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, no, still nothing.
All right.
Still nothing.
Well, I open, so you close.
All right. Well, everybody, kind of a laggy end to the podcast, but regardless, hope you all enjoyed. We will talk to you next week. We're going to go see Spooderman on Tuesday, so we'll have something to talk about at least.
We are going to go see
So
Spooderman.
expect some spoilers for Spooderman for the people that are not listening to this podcast.
Everyone who's not listening, expect spoilers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Until then, have a good week, and go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourselves.